AEW, I want to twist the knife, and CM Punk a wee bit more, guys. Welcome back to the channel, and yes, CM Punk, of course, released last Saturday. Saturday night's alright for releasing. Saturday night's alright for releasing. Of course, we're talking about the release of Ace Steel. Now, it was released initially, like back when this whole beef started between like Punk, the Bucks, the Elite, Hangman Adam Page, you know, the rest of them, whatever, man, all their wee funny fucking nicknames. Now, earlier this year, it was reported that AEW rehired coach producer Ace Steel. Steel had been let go following his role in the altercation, as I've just mentioned, with the Elite. Was apparently rehired a short time later, but according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Steel has been released from the company following the firing of CM Punk. Johnson noted the following about the situation with Steel. Steel was the only person fired from the company in the wake of the incident, but was brought back at Punk's insistence. The plan was for Steel to work as Punk's coach/producer when it came time for AEW Coalition to be announced. The company made the decision that Steel would not be allowed to physically work on site at the tapings. This caused a delay in Punk's return being announced. The two sides ironed out with Steel working remotely via Zoom calls. There's been talk over the last month that AEW is looking for a space forward of Steel to train and work with talents, but obviously that will not come to pass. I don't get that, right? So, because of the whole thing that happened with the Elite, Ace Steel isn't allowed in the arena, and he has to appear via Zoom, via satellite. He's getting the Rock fucking treatment, and not in a good way, Rock treatment. I don't get that for one bit. I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, like, but I just don't understand the logic behind that. This guy's not allowed to appear. What, do the Elite fear for their life? Because Ace Steel would be in the same arena as him. But obviously, with it being Coalition, they weren't even on Coalition when Punk was there. So I'm kind of confused about that. To me, that's just completely and utterly embarrassing. But it is what it is, and to be honest, there's not really an awful lot more to say on the matter, to be perfectly honest. Ace Steel has been released, guys, and that is pretty much about it. And apparently, though, CM Punk was actually working under two contracts, which is a weird thing. So according to Meltzer, you have to take this with a pinch of salt. The belief was that Punk had two contracts, one being a pro wrestling contract and another being an employee contract. Was that it was a way for the company to cover full insurance, although nobody officially confirmed that or what his job title entailed. It's still unknown if Punk still had a non-complete clause. And Meltzer noted that for a WWE contract, there was a standard year one non-compete for a party that is currently terminated with cause, David. You know, that whole gimmick about a year is a load of shite, to be honest. Tony Khan, Dave Meltzer, they're all a bunch of fuds, to be brutally honest. And Ace Steel, I think that's mad that they didn't actually allow him to be in. That he had to appear via satellite because they were afraid of Ace Steel. What? Tony Khan, I fear for my life because CM Punk is here and I'm not allowed. I walk alone through this pit of danger. Down, down, down. I walk alone supposed to be in danger. Down, down, down. Bam, bam, down. Just a lot of garbage, to be honest, guys. Kind of feel sorry for all these jobbers like Ace Steel and Punk, but they've been released. And Ace Steel, I mean, let's be real, right? If the sole purpose of this guy being kept around was to talk to Punk before matches and produce his matches via a Zoom call, what use would the guy have as soon as CM Punk is released? And that's pretty much it. Till then, though, Ace Steel, RIP.